Good evening, everyone. I'm Werner Egipsy from Earthkeepers Connect Goa, your host for this evening, the 10th day of the pre-summit webinars leading up to the New Earth Summit in November, the second edition of India's first integrative summit on solutions to our problems in health, food, farming, and environment. I extend a warm welcome on behalf of our summit convener, Darryl de Souza, and also on behalf of our 10 Earthkeeper groups in India and overseas, to our esteemed panelists of this evening, and we express our gratitude to you for taking out time from your busy schedules to be with us and to share your wisdom, so that all watching this webinar and its recording later may understand more deeply about a spiritual and holistic way of life that benefits not only the people of the earth, but also Mother Earth and Father Sky. Our topic for today is spirituality for global peace and harmony. I will introduce our panelists to the audience. Maria Salazar. Maria Salazar is a spiritual wellness coach. She's a firm believer that we need to take care of our physical, emotional, and spiritual bodies every single day in order to maintain balance and be able to live a happy and healthy life. She teaches Body Freedom, a program that helps and guides you to find your uniqueness when it comes to nutrition, movement, and connection. We are all different and have different needs. This is called bio-individuality and biochemistry. Maria believes that through self-knowledge, you can create a sustainable, healthy way of living and get to live fully and to thrive. She has a deep love and respect for people and cultures across the globe. Manish Paliwal. Manish Paliwal is the founder of Mani Padma Human Development Foundation, reader of more than 10,000 books on a variety of subjects, and an expert in personal and interpersonal communication, brand imaging, advertising, management, and organizational skills and abilities. Born into a well-respected family in Muzaffarpur, India, he had a keen interest in human development causes from a very young age. Owing to some unfortunate incidents in his personal life, starting with his mother committing suicide due to depression, followed by his children being born with disabilities, his interest soon transformed into a resolve to understand the origins of human suffering and misery and to find solutions for it. This made him leave his family business of textiles and thereafter the IT and marketing industries as well, to embark on a journey of service to humanity. Darryl de Souza. Darryl de Souza's reversal from 14 years of sickness to a state of complete well-being within just 1 year of using integrated natural therapies is a story that has inspired millions across the globe to lead healthier lives. His book, Become Healthy or Extinct, on curing chronic illnesses with integrated natural therapies, finds readership in close to 200 countries. Darryl does disease reversal workshops as well as spiritual workshops all across India. And he also served a 5-year term as the Secretary of the World United Doctors and Healers Association. He hosts platforms and events for doctors, healers, and therapists to work together and has curated and convened 4 mind, body, and spirit healing conferences. Darryl is also an organic farmer, an environmentalist, a TEDx speaker, founder of Earthkeepers Connect, ambassador of Vegan Nation, convener of the New Earth Summit, and a speaker at the World Parliaments on Spirituality. Alejendrah East. She is a facilitator in healing processes and a passionate instructor in the areas of natural health, emotional and spiritual intelligence, personal and leadership development. She has been trained by highly dedicated and renowned instructors from Japan, USA, Peru, Singapore, India, Russia, and New Zealand. She has also been trained by and works closely with the elemental, tree, nature, and angelic kingdom. Alejendrah is from Peru, lived in Japan, Singapore, USA, New Zealand, and now resides in Colombia. She has traveled the world extensively, and it has given her a wider and deeper perspective and understanding of human nature. She loves to collaborate with like-minded people and is committed to support the advancement of humanity. Her students say she has an eagle eye to get to the core of the issue and the ability to create amazing out-of-the-box solutions. So now we'll start. We'll begin the first 3 rounds, which will conclude in 1 hour so that we can keep the next hour for Q&A with the audience. Accordingly, I request each panelist to address each question in a maximum of 5 minutes. To our attendees, if you would like to receive the recorded video of this webinar, please visit earthkeepersconnect.org and click allow to allow notifications from our mobile news app. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, The New Earth Summit, for the recording of this webinar. Our audience need not wait for 7 p.m. to type their questions in the Q&A box below. So the first question, what is spirituality or spiritual life? Is it something personal to each individual, or does it relate to an individual's relationship with the world? So I'll ask Maria to start.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you, Miguel. Well, for me, we are all spiritual individuals whom we have forgotten. And it is, to me, the journey in this body, in this dimension, it's to learn to be human instead of spiritual, because spiritual, we are spiritual beings, but we have amnesia and we have forgotten. And this is the task that we have come here to learn, to reconnect with ourselves, with our powers, and with everyone. And because we live very separate lives. So I feel that the disconnection is what causes the pain, right? And physical pain and emotional pain and sickness in our bodies, because we can heal ourselves. And we are always looking for the answer outside ourselves. And we never reach these answers because we're always going to people trying to fix everything for us because it's easy, instead of going inwards and trying to find what suits us. Again, no, we're all at the same individuals, but at the same, we're one. But first we need to connect with ourselves and heal ourselves to try and heal the rest of the globe. And I don't like to say we're very sick people because it sounds horrible, but there's so many mental illnesses right now, emotional illnesses, physical illnesses. And this comes to me, this comes from the disconnection that we have. So there are many ways that we can reconnect physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and this way to thrive, and then teach people how to do this in their own individuality, from their individuality, they can come to as a whole in a sane, healthy way. And it is possible to do so by doing some practices that are there for us in a very accessible way, like meditation and taking care of your body with movement. And we have learned that this modern world teaches no pain, no gain. And to me, this is completely the opposite of no pain, no gain. No pain, no gain, it's something that comes from, for me, from disconnection and suffering. It doesn't mean that I don't mean that you do not have to go further. Yes, but with love and respect. I always say that I take 2 vitamins every day. 2 vitamins, vitamin A and vitamin R. Vitamin A in Mexico, it's amor, love. So in English would be the vitamin L and the vitamin R. Love and respect from my body and from everything, for everything. And I don't, that's why the question is, or does it relate to an individual's relationship with the world? Yes, but first it starts with us. It starts with ourselves. How can I give to you something that I don't have? I don't even know who I am. So if I do meditate, and I also teach that nutrition, it's super important, because also there's the energy of food, and it will connect you to everything, to Mother Earth. It will connect you to it depends on what you eat, how you will be feeling. It's not random that if you eat packaging, processed foods, use your energy and your disconnection goes like down. And if I eat plants and if I eat things that have a different vibration, because at the end, everything is vibration. So if you're putting this energy into your body, you are transmitting this energy. Not
Yes.
only are you feeling whole and healthy, but you are connected to Mother Earth, and your energy is everywhere, everywhere.
All right. So we'll have to take this forward now. Thank you, Maria. That was very nice. So now I will request Manish to answer this question. Manish, if you can take this now.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for giving me this opportunity to express what I have a take on spirituality. Basically, for me, spirituality is incomplete without empowerment. Empowerment is the ability part of spirituality. And for me, spirituality is your sportsman spirit, which makes you successful in life, where you have no problems with failures. Basically, you have a problem. As Maria was saying, yes, hard. It's like no pain, no gain. We call it in Mani Padma, poison is guarded. Purity is guarded by poison. Hard work only guards the sacred thing. So for me, spirituality is not one platform, one single term that can address everything. And for me, for us at Mani Padma also, what we say is spirituality basically differs at 3 levels. Level 1 is where a person cannot take pains of life. So we call it that level of spirituality where a person cannot take pains of life. They need salvation. They need, moksha. They need kind of desirelessness is what is to be taught to them as a spiritual way of life. But there is a second stage where a person wants to lead in a particular area in life, maybe one dimension of leadership of textile or of chemical. So one dimensional leader, somebody who is pursuing a particular goal in one area, for example, a textile owner or an advertiser or a political leader. So they have a goal. They cannot be desireless. They cannot be, for them, spirituality cannot be same as the people in plane 1. So for them, they have to practice spirituality, which is suitable to their goal that they are pursuing. So their spirituality meanings change. And likewise, when people who have intense goals in life, like for example, I'll give my example, Darryl's example. I think our other panelists are from the same categories, who have intense goals of transforming humanity. So they have intense goals. And when you have intense goals, you have huge goals, you can't even afford to have a very, blissful life, because you have to take so much of pains and stress of the goals. So it's like a lot of people say effortlessness is the spirituality. For me, again, I say, no, effort is the spirituality, right? Effort is spirituality. on the right goal is spirituality. And on your goal, when you polish yourself to be able to achieve that goal, is also spirituality. So again, coming to my definition called sportsman spirit for different kind of roles chosen by three different level of people in life. And basically what I've learned that people teach one way of spirituality, but that is where I differ. I say, no, it is three different needs and they have to be addressed in three different ways. They can't be same way for everyone. And to your question, to the question that has been asked, there is a second part of it. Can a person be isolated from the world spirituality or from suffering? No, one person cannot be, because we are suffering what the whole cumulative humanity is giving to us. There is any particular problem comes from a cumulative problem called humanity sufferings. So we are connected with humanity. We can't take off our hands from spirituality of humanity, but we can at personal levels, we can solve our problems by being, solved individual from inside, and by trying to give from our life what we can give to humanity. So in that sense, in Mani Padma, and we call it complete goal of life for anybody should be they should be pursuing oneness, individuality, and human service all together, not one by one. If you have a complete goal of oneness, if you have a complete goal of individuality, and if you have a complete goal of human service, they together can make your life or anybody's life successful and spiritual, as well as solved with their own leadership capacity. This is what I mean in this. So yeah, that's my answer to the question that Werner has put.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you,
Manish. So now I will ask Alejendrah to answer this.
Okay, thank you so much, Miguel. And thank you, Marie, and thank you, Manish. So spirituality to me this is who we are. Marie already mentioned it, we are spiritual beings, right? And we are having a human experience. That's how I like to put it and see it, and also share it with students. Because a lot of times we get into trouble, so to speak, and trouble could be, physical ailments, even a headache, symptoms, broken relationships, stagnant, etc. So all of those are symptoms, and those symptoms let us know that something's going on. So spirituality is for everybody. I mean, we cannot say that it's just for people who go to church or people who go to a temple. That doesn't mean being spiritual. I mean, there's a spirituality in it, but even if you are walking down the street among the markets and you are just interacting with the person that is selling you the vegetables to cook your meal today, that's a spiritual interaction. So spirituality is everywhere. It's part of who we are. We cannot really detach from it. What we humans, we have learned, and that's something that we really need to unlearn, is to negate our spirituality. Because in a lot of times, different cultures and different places, there is this big denial of our own spirituality. And remember that when you are in denial and you're negating who you are, then you start bringing yourself really apart from who you are. And then pain comes in the game to kick you back into the game. Like if you just think of a train that is moving forward on the tracks, and then for whatever reason there is a bump and then you got off track, right? So those bumps, come in life. Just very quickly, in 1995, there was this huge earthquake in Japan, in Kobe, and I was living there. So I was off track. And that earthquake came to bring me back on track. Sometimes, we face these kind of experiences that really shake us from the core. So they're not bad things, right? So, and this is a question that I bounce to you guys who are watching this recording, right, in this program, is Are you off track? And if you are off track, it's not a bad thing. So don't beat yourself up, because that's actually what we also learn, right? As humans, right? Oh my God, I'm so bad, and you are so bad, and we get into this judging game, right? You're supposed to blah, 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 because you were raised in this way, blah, 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 and your grandmother gave you great values. What have you done with that, right? It's not that. Let's be compassionate towards ourselves and other people. That's part of being spiritual. So I have a flip chart here and I want to show you. So spirit, right, runs through everything. And I want you see the purple color represents spirit, okay? So you have your heart, you have your mind, right? It's about bringing balance, but it's about also bringing balance between yourself and others, bringing balance between your business and the environment, bringing balance between your diet, eating habits, and the environment, and so on. So we can say, you see this purple color, it's everywhere. We cannot say, oh, you know what? I'm going to a retreat and I'm going to be very spiritual during my Vipassana, right? Who has done Vipassana? Awesome, highly recommended, right? And then Vipassana finishes, and then you go back to normal everyday life and you forgot about what you learned there. Oh my God, let's don't waste our time, right? So, and spirituality relates to every single part of life. We cannot say it's only for this little bit, or I want to practice it just here. It makes us wholesome and complete. I just want to share that. Spirituality is who we are, and it makes us wholesome and complete, and it keeps us in integrity, because that's part of our integrity. And when we are out of integrity, we feel bad. So the bad feelings that you may have, or the headache, or the physical symptom that you may have, it tells you you're off track. So just bring yourself back on track.
Wow. That's beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. So now I will ask Darryl to take this forward.
Yes, thank you, Miguel. And yes, really, it was really wonderful listening to all our panelists. And I'm going to give a little different take, starting from some ancient references of cultures. For example, about 10 years back, I saw a big placard that was framed in a big, old Portuguese villa here in Goa. And it was almost like the spiritual kind of charter of the Red Indians. Okay, and I was reading it, and it talked about what the meaning of spirituality for them, and it used this word, the Great Spirit. Okay, so when I looked at that, and I found a lot of relevance to the way I understood things in the world, and I would just like to explain with that perspective. So the Great Spirit can be, of course, a very big spirit, and the spirit, I think, that flows through all things. And the spirit, and we think, human beings are living, and fish and bacteria also. But yes, there is energy flowing through soil and through the plants and the trees and everything. So everything is energy, and it's just taken a different form, by changing its frequency. Because I follow a lot of science too, and I look at spirituality, and I try to balance this reality. So for me, Great Spirit is something that is all across the cosmos, and it takes different forms and expressions, and it combines in different ways, in such beautiful ways, and that beautiful way we call creativity, and from that comes creation. So, I say that human beings, we are on a spiritual journey to understanding Great Spirit, of which we are an integral part. So for me, that journey is a spiritual journey. And over the last 15 years that I have been delving a little deeper into this topic with healers, doctors, therapists, shamans, and people who practice yoga and meditation, and so many, vipassana also, yes. Um, I've seen that people are in a journey, and there are steps and stages to it. And sometimes people say, just yoga is spiritual, or being in deep meditative state and, taking care of yourself is spiritual. And of course, so I see those as, replies to from people about where they are in their spiritual journey. And I have seen this that, uh, from where we come from all of this soup of great spirit, and we are born into this world. And it is our duty to also be in balance and be in symbiosis with this entire, at least of our planet, and everybody living on the planet, all the different species on the planet. But then somehow we lose that, visibility, and especially people in the modern world, scientific world, who are more focused at modern science. But the indigenous people of the different, on the different forests in the on the planet, I've seen that all of them understand the same aspect of great spirit and spirituality. And because they see their individual selves integrated with the whole, that they do not do anything that damages, the whole. And I think only modern civilization does that. So now I see that, people are in a journey of self correction, and somewhere on that journey they are trying to fix things. And of course you have to first cleanse and purify and, fix the self before you can fix others. So people are in various journeys, and I think the starting of the journey is, getting out the ideas that are, separating us from each other, and even different names of religions, yes, they are separations. I mean, everybody knows that God is one, and we are all children of the same God. But somehow modern people are not able to fix this. Then why are there different religions, and why do we call God different names? So I think we're all in that journey. And for me, finally, the spiritual journey culminates when you have taken out the rubbish inside, you have brought in something that is, you know uh, more more holistic, more heart centered, collaborating with all people in a good way to bring good things to people, society, and this planet. And so for me, that is the spiritual journey and spiritual life. When you're on that journey and you finally come to a point where, all your thoughts, words, and deeds, and what you choose to do in life respects all the aspects of great spirit in whatever forms they are, and you align with them and you collaborate with them to create a beautiful world.
Wow, that was really nice. Thanks.
Thanks.
So now from this, we'll move to the next question. And our next question here is, the world is in a very disturbed state right now. You could say almost the way Alejendrah has said that we are derailed and then we need to get back on track, and an earthquake has shaken us. The world is in a very disturbed state now. Why do you think it has reached this point, and what can individuals do about it to make things better? So, Alejendrah, if you would like to take this one.
All right. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's a big question, and there are millions of answers to that. However, it is that disconnection that Darryl was just talking about. Yeah, because when we disconnect from who we really are, right? We are these spiritual beings, right? We are even, star seeds, right? We come from all over the cosmos, and we have, I wouldn't say just randomly landed on planet Earth, but we have chosen to incarnate on this planet Earth at this particular time because there is this particular huge event that is happening right now, which is our awakening, right? So one thing that happens actually during incarnation, as part of the incarnation process, is that when we are born, the moment that we actually coming out of our mother's tummy, right, the veil of forgiveness, it's put on us. So it's like, and I want you guys to think of this veil like a cloak, something that is put over our consciousness, and then we literally go into amnesia, and Maria was talking about that at the beginning. We forget about that, right? And I'm in chills telling you this. Look, my skin is all full of goosebumps, right? So we forget that, right? Now, our task is to remember who we are, because we do. I mean, the fact that we are here together, the fact that you're watching this, you're participating live in this transmission, and then later you're watching the recordings, it's because there is a part of you that calls you to connect with this kind of information to really help you remember, right? So it's a communal task. This we do in community. That's why we have to come together, right? Remember that the microcosmos that you are, I am, we are, right? We are a microcosmos that represents the macrocosmos, right? And we have been told in order to understand the cosmos, the universe, we have to understand ourselves, right? So these times of uncertainty are not doom and gloom. Please, I mean, if you have ever hear these, really doom and gloomy news or conversations, please, if you're going to listen to that, listen with compassion, but don't get sucked onto that conversation, because remember, we are co-creators and we can co-create our own reality. The conversation of the fifth dimension, it's going on, right? Our destiny, our human destiny, is to move from this tridimensional, this 3D, onto the fifth, right? The fourth dimension is the bypass, right? And in order to reach there, right, we have to be congruent. That's why on the first answer that I gave on the first question, what's spirituality? It's being in integrity. There is this word in Japanese. It's called kansen. Kansen. And please remember this and even pronounce it. And it will feel good, even you don't know how to write it. Kansen. Kansen. That means integrity. And when we are in integrity, we are communing with everything around us. Just in a nutshell, I'm just gonna share with you a death experience that I had. So almost 11 years ago, I was gone, completely gone from this body, okay? And in that space where we all return is the space of total oneness. I'm so grateful for that experience, because I really got to understand firsthand what it's like to be part of the whole. And when I came back to this physical body, my feeling was that I was squashed into this little dot with little teeny, tiny dots. But when we are there, or when we are home, what some call it home, we're everything. And everything is us. There's no separation. And Darryl, you were talking about how indigenous people have this knowledge and this wisdom about, how we are part of everything, right? So in order to be that, we have to remember, right? And we can be part of the solution that we are, the challenge that we are living nowadays. We have this big global event that has really constrained our freedoms in certain ways, right? But we always are free here. We are always free in our minds, in our hearts. Our spirit can never be, put down. Never, 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 right? So we have to remember that, right? It doesn't matter what happens. You have to remember that you are free. You're naturally born free, and no one can take that freedom away from you unless you allow it. Something that we have to remember as human beings is that we are beings that we have been given, and this is our divine gift, is free will, right? So what do you do with your free will is up to you. And there are these opposing forces that will love and they do their best to fool you around and to make you think that you're powerless when you're not, right? And the moment that we humans, we think that we're powerless, the moment you think that you have no ways of liberating yourself, then you lost the game, because we are in a game. And we can have days to talk about this topic, right? But that's in a nutshell. I want you to always remember, no one, absolutely no one, and nothing can take away your freedom. Nothing can go against your free will unless you allow it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Jim.
So now,
Thank you.
thank you, Alejandra. So I'll ask Manish to give his viewpoint on this. You're on mute, Manish. We can't hear you. Yeah, you just unmute yourself.
Okay. So your question is about what is the reason why we are suffering this state of humanity, right?
Yes. Why do you think it has reached this point, and what can individuals do to make it better?
Yeah. So yes, in my understanding and my experiences, and that what we focus in Mani Padma sciences also, we have very precisely said the cause of suffering. What is the cause of suffering of humanity? Very pinpointed focus has to be understood. What is the cause of humanity? Why the humanity is in so bad state? It is unquestionably in a bad state. I have no doubts about it. I don't think anybody has a doubt about it. Humanity is in a bad state. And to come on, what is the reason why humanity is in bad state? I just want to point to everyone that the problems that existed from the times of nomads, where in humanity was uncivilized. They used to live in caves. They used to have, stones as weapons. They used to, fight for weapons and fight for women of other tribes. And all those things used to happen that time, which means obsession and possession of people, place, things, objects, possess these desires. Same possessions and obsessions that happened during nomads till this age, till today, we are in the same traps of possessions and obsessions, sexual, material, and power. If you see all possessions and obsessions, they boil down to these three single words. So what I am very clear about, that the state of suffering is because of obsession for ownership. We have to, if we want to solve this problem, we have to bring a peace and harmony in the state of, discrimination should reduce, exploitation should reduce, opportunities for growth of people should improve, higher success opportunities should grow up, and possession should not be disturbing to others, power and ego should not be disturbing to others. If these kind of collective consciousness and collective solutions, if they are pinpointed and broad, humanity will have solution, because the root problem is obsession, and we have to solve problems of obsession by meaningful possessions, by meaningful expressions, by meaningful self-expression. So this is a very absolute, I have worked out the whole scientific process of this, and in Mani Padma there is a clear-cut design of how everything has to be pinpointed to solve. So in that sense, yes. And second part of your question, Werner, I would like to answer, which is that what can an individual do to solve this problem? Or can individual? So yes, on my side, I'm very clear that people should first of all give their best effort to solve their own life, which I think Maria also said in the first question, Alejendrah also said in the first question. The source of solution for humanity begins with a solution for self and life. If I am not solved, I cannot solve your problems. If I am not solved, I cannot solve problems of humanity. If I have to solve problems of humanity, I have to solve my own problems. And when I solve my own problems, the solution process itself engages, my solution can only come from my complete oneness, my complete individuality, and my complete human self. If I really want to solve my own problem, it happens only through the route of complete whole, of doing something about oneness, of doing something about my own individuality, whatever is my business, profession, whatsoever it is, and human service, where I am serving at least to the weaker sectors than me. If I want services of upper sectors than me, then I also need to give services to the lower people who are suffering and more suffering because are weaker than me. So this is what I say, a solution for self happens through oneness, individuality, and human service. This route is solution to individual also, and this route is solution to whole humanity also, through an individual. So this is my understanding and my solution to problems of humanity.
Great, great. Thank you. Very interesting, Manish. Now I'll ask Maria to give her answer to this question.
Is in a very disturbed state now, yes, and I feel the fear because it's in energy, and people are based on fear, uncertainty, and this is the way many people are living their lives right now, through watching TV all day, watching the news all day, just more disconnection and disconnection, and everything that they hear, see, speak is fear-based. And there's a big impact because we forget that we are electromagnetic beings, and that everything is connected. And if I am living in a state of fear, and many people in the world, many are living in that same state, we are not helping anything. The earth feels it. All the humans and the animals and everything feels our fear. And this is one of the questions about the first part of this question. And also it's about selfishness. We're only seeing what we need. We don't care if people, here in Mexico, I don't know, but this is something that breaks my heart. You know, with this pandemia, and many people lost their jobs. Mexico has a lot of poor people who are on the streets asking for money. And now there are more and more people, poor people in Mexico. And then you come out from the supermarket, and you come up with all these bags of groceries to take home and have a beautiful meal. And there's these woman, and there's women there with children, poor women, who are asking for a little of you, something. Not only, yes, a smile goes a long way, but she's not gonna eat with my smile. So they ask for something, and then you say, no, thank you. And you even say, thank you. No, thank you. What on earth? If you're taking all this food to your house and you're not sharing, we are not sharing. We're being judgmental. We're being egocentric. And we only think of me and my family. What's going to happen to me and my family? This is the second part of the second. And the third part of what can we make? What can individuals do about it to make things better? Okay, let's start being more conscious of what we see, feel, speak, and do, because we are impacting the whole world. And you are not only you and your family. Let's start to raise this awareness of that there's no separation, that we are all connected, and that our thoughts and our doing is either helping us to thrive or the opposite. So what we need to do is just raise our awareness and our consciousness. I'm not going to talk again about the practices that we could be doing about meditation and eating healthier. I'm just going to put it in a nutshell. It's raise the awareness that you are not an individual. You are a part of a whole, and everything that you are, you do, you speak, you think, it's impacting the whole world. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. Now I'll ask Darryl to answer this.
Thank you, Werner. So very, very insightful and wonderful sharings from all of our panelists, and a couple of those comments got me thinking as well, and I really liked it. And with respect to how, why the world is in such a mess and how we got here, I will again go back to, what I shared earlier, um, with regards to the indigenous people, because the, I think they are standing examples for our modern world to show us where we have gone wrong. So now, if you see and you study these cultures, like I said, most of them have the same understanding of Great Spirit or God. And it's about how they are little pieces, and the animals and the plants and the soil, they're all little pieces of expressions of God. And then everything put together is, all of that creators, different aspects of creator. And because of that knowledge, they have respect for the plants, they have respect for the animals, they know the place of everything. And they know this because they live in a natural world and they observe this every day of their lives. Okay, so they are living science and they're interacting with the expressions of God. And I call that they're living as per natural law. Now, over centuries, what has happened, of course, everything that happens with a good spark and some creativity. But in that good spark and creativity, the modern world or scientific world started emerging, where people started to disconnect. It was a brilliant idea for some people that, oh, we don't need to live in the forest, we don't have to live in the fields, we can live in a nice, clean, home. And slowly the homes became mud houses. From the mud houses, they became concrete boxes or jungles right now. Okay, I call them concrete jungles. So people have landed up with no connection to nature, and they cannot see the laws and they cannot see the interactions of these other aspects of God. And now when you're in a box, who's going to teach you all this? Okay, so there are some self-appointed, there have been some self-appointed people across the globe, across centuries, who have said that we understand better, you guys can sit in your box and we will tell you what is right and what is wrong. Okay, we will tell you what is food, we will tell you what is natural, we will tell you how to heal yourselves. And so we have been listening to these so-called smart people, and they even told us that, the guys in the villages, they are, they are stupid people. They don't have wealth, they don't have prosperity. They could not say they don't have culture and tradition, because they do have more than what we have in the cities. I mean, city people celebrate the traditional village culture, for festivals. So we have come into this modern world thanks to some brilliant minds who thought they would, teach us what is good and what is better than all of these indigenous people. And so we have been following all that advice, and we are at this place now where if you ask somebody, if you ask the indigenous person living in the forest what is food, I mean, they'll take you for a walk and they'll show you what is food, and they'll pick it up and they'll give it to you, and that is food. And at different seasons of the year, there's different food, and there are certain foods that will give you different kind of energies. They know that. But you ask the modern person what is food, they said they'll take you to the food court, to the shopping mall, and all the food over there is not made by God or by nature. It's made by these smart people. Okay, and we're eating all of that food, and we're getting high BP, cholesterol, diabetes, obesity, hormonal imbalance, and all of that. So now it's become pretty clear that, human beings in the modern world, they don't know what is real food. And if you ask a person if you're sick, if you got a little bit of a headache, how are you going to heal yourself? And they have the answer, oh, I'm going to pop this pill. Now this pill is again made by these super smart brainy people. And we have now a condition where, people are, dying of, I mean, the biggest threat in the world is a virus. Okay, and human beings in the cities have such low immunity that they are not able to fight the virus. And so of course a vaccine is coming around to fix all of that. So again, a smart solution by these extra smart people. And city people forget one fact, it's publicized that the viruses are coming from animals and they're coming in the jungles. If you go to the jungles, right in the middle from where these viruses are coming, you'll see those people have no pandemics. They have no viral attacks. They are not having high BP, cholesterol, diabetes, no illnesses. Okay. So where's real life and where is truth? Okay. So this is how we reached here. And part of my works in the last 10 years has been this, because I went through a long journey of sickness, and I could see this, this popping pills is an unnatural substance, and it never cures you long term. And I said, this is a complete fake system of medicine. And that's why I started teaching natural medicine, which has got to do with herbs and, healthy diet and seasonal foods and, you know, uh, meditation and acupressure. And these are, the sciences are, 3, 4, 5,000 years old. So I think this is the main problem why there are so many. We are disconnected from the world. We don't know truth. We don't know natural science. So we are in this box and we are sitting in front of the TV and we are listening to people who have made so many big colossal mistakes for all human beings. Who sit in front of TV boxes and listen to radios. So now there's a wonderful movement across the globe where people are seeing the mistakes that are made and trying to take people back to nature. And that's the advice that I give to people right now in the modern world. Go back to nature. See what your village folk are doing. See what your ancient traditions are doing. Listen to lectures and radio shows of people who tell you more of living science. So even the book that I've written, Become Healthy or Extinct, it is not research from, some labs and people who formulated diet and nutrition and health and healing inside some laboratories. I teach natural sciences, and every statement that is there, you can go in nature and you can see it exists. And that is what nourishes and that is what heals. So that would be, my path to kind of giving people solutions on whether it is your health, whether it's the kind of house that you make, the kind of energy that you do, the kind of work that you do, right? So we need to, uh, and all of these other expressions of God, whether it's the trees or the soil, the soil is a teacher. If you try to grow something in a bad soil, it will not grow. And so you will have to understand the soil and make good soil till you can make that plant grow. So in this exchange, the soil is the teacher. It's not you. It's not your knowledge from the TV or the radio, right? So my advice to people is start getting back to nature, and nature is the real teacher. The sunlight is a teacher, the water, pure water is a teacher, the earth is a teacher, the plants, the animals, they seem to be the only, all of these species, other expressions of God, they still have natural law intact. And I think they're the bigger teachers than all of these modern geniuses who have, kind of made a mess of the world. Werner, we can't hear you. Your mic is on.
Thank you, everyone. This is really very interesting, especially about integrity, being conscious, and being part of the spirit. So from here, we'll go to the last question right now, which is where I request all our panelists to share about their work and how our audiences can access it to support their own journey into being more spiritual and also helpful to the world to achieve global peace and harmony. So who would like to take this? Manish, would you like to take this? You're on mute.
It looks like an introduction now. We are introducing ourselves now. So I am Manav Vikas Prasasheva. I changed my name from Manish Paliwal to Manav Vikas Prasasheva. And I am founder of Mani Padma Human Development Foundation. My mission in life is to, bring complete solutions to all problems that humanity faces with. So that is where we come from. And Mani Padma Human Development Foundation is an organizational design where we have organized things to be executed through an organization. So what is at the source of Mani Padma Foundation is a design which is comprising of 1,125 initiatives that we call projects, clubs, councils, programs, and services, including CNATs. So these CNATs and programs, altogether initiatives, will be implemented across the world from year 2020 to year 2040. So it's a design of 20 years in which we execute lots of projects which bring solutions to humanity. And what these do, basically, they are all integrated solutions of enlightenment, empowerment, and human service. So how do we define enlightenment? For us, enlightenment is knowing your life purpose is enlightenment. The moment you are clear with your life purpose, that is enlightenment. The moment you are solved with your abilities that are required by a person to achieve their life purpose, we call it empowerment. The person who is empowered is solved with the abilities to achieve their life purpose. Likewise, on the final ground, we say human service. The services plan that you have chosen to execute it to give services to the less privileged than you. So enlightenment, empowerment, human service is our integrated solution for every individual, even organization and humanity on the whole. So yes, our solutions of 1125 projects, why they are so many in numbers? Because they have been catering, each project is designed for a particular segment, gender, age group, relationship, kind of different levels of their needs are specifically catered through a specific program. Likewise, for organizations, special programs for organizations. For humanity system solution, team working, integrated solutions with the teams, different teams doing different things. They are part of the. So our solutions actually are addressing 11 segments of individuals, 7 levels of organizations, and 6 goals for humanity. There are 6 goals on which we work through our design for solving all problems of humanity. So yes, this is our design of solutions for humanity. Your next question, and probably what everybody would like to know, or I would like to tell people, that how we offer a solution to audiences that we have in this group, in this audiences. Yes. So we are going to launch our workshop in this month, and registrations will start. It is in name of Big Me Mind Lotus Workshop. So this Big Me Mind Lotus Workshop is designed to bring complete solutions to all problems a person faces, an individual faces, including all questions being answered in the same workshop, all problems being solved in the same workshop, all kind of needs that is required for a person to be enlightened, to be empowered, and to be served is all available in this workshop in a 40-day structure. A curriculum of 40 days will be a life transforming workshop. Everything will be solved. For audiences, they can keep on, they can check on www.bigmeworkshop.com. That is our, as of now, the website. And on the same website, they can find the registration pages and how to register and things like that. So that is our solutions to, to the individuals in the audiences, and to how they can solve problems of humanity, how the audiences or the people who do our workshops, Mind Lotus Workshop, how they can move on to solve problems of humanity. We have some special rules called icon rules. In Mani Padma projects, a person can take certain area which he wants to or she wants to, serve for humanity. So those projects are there. They can select from the projects in which they want to participate as human service provider. And taking those roles, they can become icons, which solves the problem for humanity through the project, and also brings leadership to their own life, to their work, to their family, through that role. The moment you take a oneness role, you become oneness, you become known to everybody, and then you have powers of oneness. And that powers of oneness brings, solutions to your individuality. And that when you're powerful, when your individuality becomes powerful, your work gets power, your life gets power, your family gets power. So it's like a to and fro solution. It is an end-to-end solution for individual and for the humanity. So this is how we have designed our solutions for our audiences in this.
Thank you, Manish. Alejendrah, would you like to share with us?
All right, thank you. Yes, and okay, so I want you to think about this first. Okay, I love using my illustrations for teaching. Okay, so think about human beings. Okay, you as a tree, right? We are all like this, right? And what we see is the trunk up. You don't get to see the roots, right? And when you don't get to see the roots, most of the time, this is unknown. right? Because what you're seeing is this. Now, think about these fruits as headache, some distortions along the spine, okay? Malnourishment, problems with your spouse, you know, relationships that are not really working well, you know, businesses that don't really take off, etc., etc., etc. So that's the fruits, right? So what happens if you have an apple tree that has been giving fruits, you know, beautifully, and then harvest time comes and then you find out that your apples are all horrible. You can't eat them, right? And you're, oh my God, what happened to my tree? Okay, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna prune it, get rid of the apples. I'm gonna put a lot of fertilizer on the soil, right? And then a year goes by, and then again, harvest time, what happens? Rotten apples, you know, apples with viruses and blah, blah, really yucky apples. You can't eat them. And then you're cracking your head. What did I do wrong? Why don't I get it? Right? You didn't get it because you didn't go here. You know, the root of your tree got a virus. What do? You have to heal the root, right? So the work that I do, it has to do with the roots. I go to the root cause, right? Whether if it's physical health, whether if it's an emotional issue, whether if it's just even stress, relationships, we have to go to the root cause. Now you see the word fear here, right? So fear is something that we learn as humans. We are not born with fear, but it's something that we learn it along the way. And you see this tree trunk, and I don't know if you get, Miguel, if you can make my screen bigger so we can show this, please.
I can't actually, I mean, you could, I don't know, your screen is as big as it could be.
Screen. You can pin my screen. But anyway, I'm going to put it very close
to your screen. Okay, let me just try.
You can see it very clearly.
Yeah, you can see it? Okay.
Okay, so, I pinned it. Done.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much. So you see these little red dots here, right?
Right.
Right. So these little red dots, I want you to think of times in your life, even when you are inside your mother's womb, that you get marked, right? And along the way, you know, there are events that happen when you are little, when you are, especially, you know, years of really formative years are 0 from the womb to about 8 years old. That's the most critical time in a human life. That's why when parents choose to become parents, right, and the mother is pregnant, this period is so critical, right? We can create world peace by having conscious pregnancies, respectful birth, right, and respectful and conscious upbringing of our children, because this is how society is created, actually, by the way. Not when the children go to school. It happens from the mother's womb, right? So the work that I do with people is actually to dig in and to start, you know, identifying the main root that they have, the person has, to get rid of it in order to create good fruits, right? Because you cannot have, you know, good healthy fruits if the roots are rotten, right? Now, and my life purpose is to educate you and to support you in doing this. So a lot of people think that life purpose, right, which is really your soul purpose, right, it's a straight line. Oh my gosh, how many of you have thought that, oh my God, I know it, I get it, I'm gonna do this, right? And then it happens and then you end up on the wriggly worm path. And, you know, like happened to me when I was in Japan, I became a money-making machine, okay? I got sucked into that, that society's norm to make more and more and more money, okay? So, and that's why I was hit by the earthquake. Oh my gosh, it was really terrifying, and it was an awakening experience because I was so ingrained in doing that, and I was 21 or 22. So I thank God that I was there, even though there was so much distraction. I really thank God that I was there, right? So then that earthquake got me back on track. But then I move along the path, and then broken relationship, big drama. I found, hypnosis, NLP, go back on track. Somehow you go like this. You start moving forward, right? Then another broken relationship, second broken marriage. Off track, really off track, right? And then do more healing, more meditation, go on retreat, do all the good things, go back in track, right? And this is life, guys.
Wow.
Life is not a straight line. I mean, if you ever, thought that it was going to be a straight line, wake up call, knock, 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 wake up. It's not like that.
Thank you.
Not meant to be like that.
Wow.
Because think about it. If our life was so easy and so simple, okay, you would be so bored. Oh my God. Thank God for this 3D environment, planet Earth, greatest school ever in this universe. There are many schools like planet Earth in the different universes. For our universe, Mother Earth is one of the greatest schools. Thank God, Gaia, right? So that broken relationship, that broken finances, that business that didn't take off, your broken health, whatever is so-called, quote unquote, broken, is your opportunity. It's your
move on now.
springboard.
Absolutely.
It's your springboard, right? And even,
we'll have to move on to the next panelist. Sorry,
all right, good.
That was very interesting, but we'll have to move on to Maria now. That was very, very interesting. Thank you.
Take a screenshot. This is where you find me, okay?
All right.
WhatsApp me.
All right.
I'll be happy to support you. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. So the question was, how to. Oh, there we have Maria back.
Sorry. Yes, my device got very, very hot with the sun.
Oh.
And bye device. But if you want to continue, Darryl, I can go next.
No, Maria, please carry on.
Well, I work mainly with women. Doesn't mean that only with women, but I focus a lot in women in our sacred feminine and divine feminine. Because of a very personal journey, when I was 22, I ended up in a rehab center. My weight was 36 kilos and I was in a wheelchair. And I couldn't do exercise. I had no energy, no nutrients in my body. And all this was caused because of the obsession that women lived in this society and culture of being perfect, physically perfect, and the rest doesn't matter. You've got to have a very beautiful body and a very beautiful face in order to be someone, and this becomes beauty sickness. So my program in English is called my community is called Beauty Sickness, and the work that I do is with women, because not only was I hospitalized because of my underweight and had no menstruation, no period, no nothing, and I almost died. And then when I was in the rehab center, I started rethinking, who am I? I'm not this body. I don't need to be perfect to please anyone. My husband, one day my husband, but my family, my friends, my social circles. So in this culture and society, beauty, it's taking a lot of us, a lot of our energy as women. And we are so much more than that. We pass our days and our energy is expended through thinking about beauty, trying to modify something about us, and we are forgetting that our sacred divine feminine is what is here to heal and help heal the world. So through my work, which is by the dance, dancing, a special type of technique of dance, and which helps you to connect with yourself again, meditation, yoga, breath work, and also EFT tapping, which is also acupressure. So we can start healing, then we can forget that we can reconnect with us and see, maybe in other parts of the world it's not as Latin American, and Latin American people, women are so obsessed about beauty, and we need to reconnect as women, and we need to start bonding and trying to help each other instead of just being separate, and help more women. So my program is called Body Freedom, and through Body Freedom is where I help women reconnect with their divine feminine, sacred feminine, so they can not only live a happy and fully life, but to help and help heal other women. And this feminine energy will thrive on our planet. So this is the work that I do.
Thank you, Maria. Now I will ask Darryl to share with us.
Yes, before I, share my contacts, my book on spirituality, there's something that I missed completing, in the last uh, answer that I gave. And I think people need to have this perspective also. Um, so what I was talking about that time is that the modern world, and the state of the modern world is being literally dictated, and we are put on a path by some people, and these people, I don't want to say they're good or they're bad, because everybody is into creativity. Okay, so I would just say they are into creativity, and they have also into business, because they are such big um, groups and entities and multinational corporations and all of that. So so what happens is, unfortunately, many of the products that are created by very big global companies, some of the products, they are kind of damaging the environment, or they are a lot of all of these packaged food products that are processed, they are creating a lot of illness in society. Maybe these people who started this didn't know it at the starting, that down the line, after 10-20 years, when people eat so much of this food that is unnatural, okay, that they're going to fall sick. So uh, so what I would like people to observe and see is that when when we agree to being told what to do, I mean, right? If we don't talk about human beings living in cities, and we talk of the indigenous people of villagers, even the normal. Now, I live in a village in Goa, and if you talk to the villagers over here, they know about food, they know about health, they know how to run their local economy, they know how to make money. They don't need some big banking system, right? They have been running their lives for centuries, okay, and everything has been well. And uh, so look at this model. There are indigenous people, so there are groups of people and societies across the globe who live very naturally, and they have less sickness, they have no economy problems, okay. And the one by great factor is they still speak the same, though it's different languages, they still speak the same science of the same creator. So they have a great unity in that aspect, okay. And when you ask them, so what are your differences, if you all saying that everything is a great spirit and we all part of that, well, they say only differences are our skin color, the language we speak, and our traditions. And so all of those differences are actually beautiful things, right? But in the modern world, we have people in various cities and cultures and religions, they have literally been dictated and told what is the meaning of God. what is the meaning of life, and all of that. And so they are people who are fighting against each other with different definitions of God and life, and what they should do and what they can do and what they cannot do as per their religions or their belief systems. For me, it's very plain and simple. Any system, if it is teaching people how to be separated from each other and to fight against each other, or your difference of opinion is not about beauty, it's not about culture, it's not about sharing all the different aspects of yourself, but instead it is fighting each other, then there is some serious problem with those kind of teachings. And the problem is not the teachers, the problem is the people following these kind of systems. So again, my appeal comes to people to get back to nature, and get back to your local wisdom in your local places. And that's why our movement in Goa, we have a movement called it's like people helping people. People have the knowledge and they can do the right thing. And so I think that's the future, where because this is not some new invention, that's from where we came. Different cultures on the planet not knowing each other, but they were all following a similar model, okay, of health, using local herbs, local practices, and local healing waters, and ancient sciences. So so I think yes, that's an important pointer for modern people to know that if you agree to accept a certain belief from a certain set of people, and you see that they are businessmen, then please understand that they are doing their business. Okay, and if you see the better and they are making business of you, right? But if you look at all these cultures across the world, they are not trying to make business of you, they are leading their own lives and they are self-sufficient. So that's a very important pointer for people. uh, Now the way people can access my work and all these ideas that I'm talking about is through my main website. It's darryldesouza.com, and over there you will see different branches of my work. I have a spiritual website also there, which is called from the alpha to the omega.com. So you will see my work on spirituality, and what I'm sharing about, all of this unity, oneness that can happen for people across the globe if they choose to get back to more natural sciences and nature. Then on my main website, you'll also see my work on health, nutrition, reversing chronic illnesses through my website. It's mentioned there, becomehealthyorextinct.com. And then further, it's about my earth keeping work, my work on organic farming, or my work on the environment. Uh, so that would be the main place to, and there are, my book is a free download. In fact, I'm writing a book on spirituality, where I will, deeply explain these ideas and this understanding that I have for the future of humanity. And besides that, on my website, the main website, you will see some of our work groups and earthkeeper groups in different cities. They are on WhatsApp. You'll also find uh, healers and therapists groups that I've started on Facebook. So these are all the wonderful places to go. The links you'll get there to interact with people who are more trying to, bring a natural way of life and trying to bring the ancient wisdom and ancient healing sciences and greener technologies. Um, and so I think, spirituality now is about, of course, first, cleaning up yourself. Like some of our panelists have said, you've got to get the junk outside. You have got to get different aspects of your personal life sorted first, right? And then once you are fulfilled, you can start, stepping out and serving humanity in a bigger way. And I've got a quote about this, give when your cup is overflowing. Because I have seen this, people, they want to serve society, but they have some lack in their lives. And this has happened to, master teachers who I have been a student of some time. Then I've seen that they felt that they had to do so much for humanity and that they were born just to serve. And in that service, they neglected some of their own finances, their own health, and they had, negative consequences in the long term. So, it's very important that each one of us needs to be fulfilled in our own lives. We need to balance our own dimensions of wealth, of relationship, of health, of what we do with our immediate community, that we are respected and we are honored for the work that we do. And then I think, people are on a proper platform to, serve humanity. And I think this is the natural path for every conscious human being. Once you have excellence in your own life, then you see the problems in the world, and out of your own love and compassion, I think it's the natural path that people come to serve humanity. And so many people are already doing it. So you will find the right places and the right groups to do different work for the people and the planet too. Thank you.
Thank you, Darryl. Now we will open this to the audience. There have been a few questions, and actually people have answered it. Alejendrah, they've been asking for your email address or website.
I have already written my email address and WhatsApp. My website is under development, so yeah.
All right. All right.
So just guys write to me on WhatsApp. Faster, easier.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you. So remaining. They just okay. One question's coming. All right. So one question is about acupuncture. Does anybody, does any of the panelists promote acupuncture, and how does it promote overall health? And which one is more helpful, acupuncture or acupressure? Alejendrah, you want to take that? All right.
Yeah, thank you. I used to work in a clinic in Japan where I practice acupressure and I practice moxibustion, like it's like acupuncture with herbs, and all of them are really good. Now the question to you who is asking this is, what do you want it for? Now, something that you really need to address the root cause of the issue, okay? Remember, go to the root, right? If it's a chronic symptom that you have it for years and doesn't go away with anything, you have done anything and everything under the sun, then you have to look for the mental, emotional cause of your symptoms, right? Because I tell you this, I have taken care of a lot of patients, clients with chronic illnesses, and the root cause depends on the person, okay? Just to give you an example, someone with hypothyroidism, right? Thyroid dysfunction, even a tumor in the body is not a bad thing, okay? So we have been taught, as Darryl said, right, we have been educated to think that all these things are terrible, right? And then we get fearful because we think, oh my God, we're gonna die, I'm gonna die. Now, death is not real, remember that. So instead of fearing, just look for fixing the issue at the root cause, so you don't have to go around and around and around in circles, wasting your time and your money and your effort, okay? But going back to the question, the original question, yes, acupuncture is good, acupressure is good. Any natural therapy that you can do in conjunction with taking care of the root cause of the issue, wonderful. Go ahead and do it. That's my answer. Thank you.
Thank you, Alejendrah. All right.
Yes, Miguel, I would also like to comment on that question. Now, between acupressure and acupuncture, not to be biased towards acupressure, because I've been teaching it since 15 years now, and but I see it is a little more easier for the common man to practice acupressure. You see, because there are in acupressure, it's a simple fundamental. There are different points on the body, and you may press any point, and if it's not paining that point, it indicates that there's no blockage in that, it's called a correspondent point that is connected by nerves to that part of the body. Okay, so if I'm pressing this point now, it is on the, it's of my left colon. I mean, colon is one, but this is the left side of my colon, and you are seeing a mirror image, so you may think it's right. Okay, so for example, you can check how good or bad your colon function is. But with acupuncture, you do not check for that. You are supposed to poke the needle exactly in that place. So it takes years. It takes about 6, 7, 8 years to learn and be a proper acupuncturist who can look at all the diagrams and put the needle in the exact place. Okay, but I teach acupressure in one day. Okay, so then next day people can go and start pressing all their points and check it. So for me, from a user's perspective, I have seen that acupressure is easier to learn and to use every day. And so you can use it, twice a day. I tell people, if you're in a hurry to heal, then use it twice a day. Otherwise, if you have not spent that money and time and those years to perfect acupuncture, then you need to go and see a therapist. It's going to cost you money, and probably you'll just have one visit or twice, 2 visits a week. But the beautiful thing about acupuncture is when the practitioner has it right, and then they can cure a headache. Just put some needles in your. If you got a migraine, they can just put a couple of needles in 2, 3 places, and in 10 minutes your migraine may go away completely. Okay, so that's beauty of acupuncture. And I've seen over the last 15 years that some people go to some acupuncturist for certain reasons, because that person is an expert on that, you see. So when we ask them, if you want acupuncture for a headache, who would you go to? They say, oh no, that guy's not so good with headaches, he's good with digestive system, but the headache, this guy can take away a headache in 10 minutes. So that tells me that certain acupuncturists have certain points and anatomy and root cause and curing formulas. They've done it very well. And so I also advise people that you can try acupressure yourself at home, and if it doesn't work, then you can try acupuncturist, but go to an acupuncturist who you've heard about, that this guy is good for digestive system, this guy is good for the heart, and that guy is good for the migraine.
Thank you, Darryl. I'm looking. So if anybody else would like to speak more, because I don't see actually any questions.
Werner, there are other 2 questions which you've not picked up, and they are in the answered section. Could you take it up?
Sure. Okay. One is, can severe jaw pain and toothaches have any emotional connection? Any suggestion where to start healing?
Can you repeat that question? Sorry.
Sure. Can severe jaw pain and toothaches have any emotional connection?
Well, if I may say something, emotional connection for me, yes, it has a lot to do with your stress. It can be a variety of causes, but it also can be stress. And that's why we are not conscious that our jaw and our teeth are getting a lot of pressure when we are sleeping, because we are stressed. And so we need to take this into consideration. Many times, I don't know if you are aware that when you wake up and you feel pain in your jaw and sometimes in your teeth, can also mean that you are really pressing your teeth so much because you are being in a very stressful mode, and in your sleep you are hurting yourself. So we need to also revise this, because it can really mean that it's you need to heal. You need to start doing some practices to take your stress down.
Thank you, Maria. Yes, Alejandra, you're on mute. We can't hear you.
Thank you. All right. Thank you, Maria. And one specific thing about the jaw that you guys need to know is that when we hold anger, okay, the emotion, the feeling of anger will generate bruxism, okay? That's the teeth grinding while you sleep. So you have to release that anger. Anger will make you clamp the jaw and it will make it hurt really, really badly. Have taken many cases of jaw lock, like people who can't open the jaws because they're so tight. But something that you can start doing is you have to really start being really honest with yourself about what's making you feeling angry. And what is underneath anger is here at the surface, okay? And what's beneath anger is the sense of injustice. So just ask yourself, what's not being fair in my life? Is it that someone is doing something to you or someone that you love that it's really making you feel angry? And listen, anger is not a bad thing. In a lot of cultures, we have been taught that if you feel angry, then you're a bad person, and it's not that. So every single feeling is a signal for you to take action and make corrections, right? So the signal or the wisdom of anger is that something is not fair. And the call to action to anger is that you go and make it fair, right? You fix the issue. And before you do that, you have to do a reality check. There's 3 steps to anger that I'll share now. The first step to anger is you have to do reality check. You have to ask yourself, is this really that bad? Sometimes our minds will just get things out of proportion. And the second thing you got to ask in the reality check is, how much do I have to really do with it? Right? How much responsibility do I have in this share? Okay? And just by doing that, your anger can go down a little bit. The second step to anger is communication. So you have to talk to the person that hurt you or did something that offended you or did something that, jeopardized you or someone that you love, right? Communication. So you fix that there. And the third step to anger is if you have done these 2 steps and you still feel angry, right? You have to go to the next level, which is forgiveness, right? Forgiveness, but it's not just forgiveness from your mouth out. It's really forgiveness, truly forgiving, okay? Unconditional forgiveness. I'm going to give you a new definition for forgiveness. Forgiveness is a gift that you give to yourself, right? Because you love and respect yourself and you let go of the painful feelings from the past. It doesn't mean that you ignore what happened to you, right? But you let go. You don't get attached to that. Do that and also apply pressure, acupressure on these points to release this specific muscle, okay? And if you want more help, then look for the right person that can help you. Okay.
Right.
That was my answer. Thank you.
Thank you, Alejandra.
Yes, I would also like to share some nice points for acupressure for gum and teeth pain. You have these clothes pegs, right? Pegs that you put. So put the pegs on your fingers like this for about 3 to 4 minutes, okay? So you've got to put those pegs everywhere. If it's the left, so think your jaws are like this, okay? So if it's you're having pain on top, then you got to put it for your thumb and over here and this one. And if it's the lower, then you put the pegs. So this is for the left side and this is for the right side. Okay, so try that, and people's tooth pain and all that, it kind of goes away. You can also use clove oil or a mixture of at night you can brush your teeth with a paste of organic cold pressed coconut oil and organic turmeric. So that will take care of your healing, and even cavities pains goes in a couple of days, because it goes through capillary effect into your gums, and overnight it starts killing the germs that are there. So your pain comes down because the germs and the damaging activity is goes away. And in some references, I saw that people who are having dreams of teeth decay or something like that, it has got to do with insecurity of they've lost something, either their finances. It's like a feeling of falling. You have no support, and so they feel that, oh, I have no support because these teeth. People know teeth up and down. They are there in place because of support of the gums. And when people feel this, that no, I have no support, or something is lacking, or something is dropping, my finances are going down, then they start having, that feeling of weakness in their gums.
Thank you, Darryl. The next question is, can tooth implants cause health issues? Also, how is 5G causing problems for us in this day and age? What can we do to stop harm from 5G?
So I'll just continue about, this, yes, metals. Even I took out all of my mercury fillings because as you eat and it erodes, it gets into your digestive system and gets into your blood and your cerebrospinal fluid. So that's heavy metal toxicity. And you can have various neuralgias or brain problems or memory problems or skipping a heartbeat if, some of your mercury fillings are, slowly eroding. I had one, two, I think four fillings. And that was, of course, at a time where I didn't know what was healthy food and all of that. So I replaced all of them with ceramic and those four fillings. And now it's been it's been 14 years that I've had no teeth problems because I corrected my diet and, I started having natural sugars from fruits instead of having chocolates and sweets and all of that. So that's another advice. The more processed sugar that is there in any of your food, that is really going to cut your gums and cause decay. So that was about the teeth. Yeah. So you need to do that. Get it replaced at a good doctor. So when they're taking it out, it's sucking with that suction machine, so that now the metal goes in your body. So now with 5G. Since April, since this pandemic and the news started coming about 5G, I'd already mentioned in my book that we are using too many electrical devices right around us, and 5G is going to come, and it's already coming in some places. But even when it was 4G, I've been telling people, do not keep that mobile so close to your body. Don't use Bluetooth all the time, and don't use wireless all over the place, because those energies damage the human body. And what people can do about it now, I remember even when we had 3G, okay, I was able to watch a movie on my mobile in 3G, and it was okay if the movie was 1 hour. It was okay if it was downloading at the rate of 1 hour. But now people say, oh, we are going to have 5G and I can download a movie in 1 minute. But what's the point of downloading it in 1 minute when you're going to take 1 hour to watch it? Okay.
Yeah.
So it's very clear that you see in the public domain, nobody has a need for 5G. It's not a people's requirement. Okay. Again, businesses want to come and make 5G, make money off it, put towers all across the place, put you in an electrical maze. So that's what I call is very dangerous. We should not. And in line with that, I have said that I'm going to stop using much of this mobile use at home. I'm going to use it only when I travel in my car. And at home, I'm going to use a Skype phone. It's a IP phone. I used to use that 10 years back in 2010. It's just a phone that I used to call people from all over the world. Whoever had a Skype ID, it had a wire, and it used to go into my internet cable. So I stopped all Wi-Fi in my house. I don't use Bluetooth and all that since April this year. I have 2 broadband connections, and I'm speaking on that now. Everything in my house is a wired. Okay, so no electrical fields, and you'll see that you have better sleep at night. Okay, and your body doesn't age that faster. Your skin will also look better. So think of it as detoxing from all these bad, electric devices in your life. You can have technology, but there's like how I'm having technology right now, but I'm doing it in a safe way. Okay, I'm on YouTube, Facebook, everything I do, everything that's modern and hi-fi, but I take a safer option. And so what I'm saying is an unsafe option is all of these electrical fields around you. I have done enough of the research, and it's in my book, to show that human energy fields and their frequencies are harmonic and good for the human body. But these electricities that they are making, they are not of the same frequencies, and they do a slow damage on the body if you expose it for longer times. Okay, so the advice is yes, detox your life and get more to cabled internet, and cable the old phone that is wired. Get back to that.
And with people, what do you think, Darryl, about people who cannot avoid because they work a lot and they need these devices, electrical? Do you think Orgonite, because I use Orgonite in my home to change the electromagnetic field? So I would advise people who cannot, are not in this moment capable of just not having so many electrical devices at home, do put at home Orgonite,
Yes.
which are crushed minerals, and will help you a lot. This is what I do at home.
Yes, that's very right. So, and people need to understand that, like I said, this maybe this device was called, properly a mobile phone. That means you need to use it only when you're moving around, right? But we're all using it in the home where we sit down. So, so when you're stationary, whether if it's at your office, see that you have a cabled, wire connection for internet. Wherever you sit and work, see that it's there. And I see practically in life, I need this only when I'm in the car. Otherwise, I don't need this.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I would like to add on the tooth implants, right? So one advice that I was given was actually not to get tooth implants that are made of metal, titanium, because that interferes with our spiritual connection. It creates interference. Nowadays, there are implants that are made with glass fiber. So you look for that. Yeah. If in your country you can get that, yeah. And the other thing about 5G is that one way to counterbalance that is the powerful Agnihotra, the Agnihotra practice from India. It's the Vedic practice. I do it at home, and it is very, very effective. So I highly recommend you to look for Agnihotra or Homa therapy, Homa therapy. Then you can also carry with you, which is what I do, and I have it here. It's a yantram made of copper. Yeah, so that goes into the body. I mean, next to the skin. That also helps a lot. There are many devices that you can use to counterbalance 5G, but then we have to really look at what is happening in our world, because as Manish mentioned earlier, right? So his quote says, obsession for possession. I love that. And my translation for obsession for possession is greed. And Darryl was saying, like if in the past we were okay watching a movie, 3G that will take an hour to download, but that's the length of the movie. So why would we want it in 1 minute? But that's greed, right? So we have to look into what's really happening with us human beings, as in how come we are falling into the pattern of greed. We want more, and we want it faster, and we want it now. So you gotta look at what is driving that. And as we change, we impact the rest of people and the environment. So I think what Darryl was saying also, and what Mario Lisa also was saying, we have to make changes in a home and with ourselves. Yeah, that's Absolutely. It. Thank you.
Thank you, Alejandra. So next question is, does anyone promote CBD oil, and please elaborate on some benefits?
Yes, so CBD oil comes from the hemp plant, and I have used some of it myself. I've used a very organic, pure hemp oil, And I've seen for myself and some of my patients that it reduces inflammation, okay, joint pains. It improves digestion. It improves, the prostate and frequent urination problems. So I've seen that hemp oil is a nutrient. It gives you more energy, and it does, this kind of healing. And it's so in general, yes, people use it for bringing down pain in their body, and some of these inflammatory conditions. Okay, so anybody who has inflammation in the small intestine and IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, I've seen those cases also improve with CBD oil daily. Generally, a normal or small dose is about 1 teaspoon first thing in the morning. And if they need more healing and faster healing, they can have also 1 teaspoon before going to sleep at night. Yes. Thank you, everyone. Yes. Thank you, Werner. Thank you, Maria, Manish, Alejendrah, for being here with us and sharing your wonderful insights and wisdom. And I wish you all the very best with your efforts and your projects to transform people and this world.